ITV producers joked about tragic Jeremy Kyle show guest Steve Dymond crying, his inquest heard today. One member of the program's team said in a private WhatsApp group that Mr. Dymond had tears in his eyes twice LOLX. It was heard. It was also heard Mr. Dymond, 63, sobbed continuously when filming finished and was allowed to leave the studio after telling a producer, "I wish I was dead." TV presenter Kyle, 59, today arrived at Winchester Coroner's Court, Hants, to give evidence at the inquest into the death of construction worker Mr. Dymond. Mr. Dymond, an ex-RNLI volunteer, appeared on his show on May 2, 2019, to try to prove to his on-off partner Jane Callaghan, then 48, that he did not cheat on her. He failed a lie detector test, despite protesting he was faithful and rude. Kyle egged on his crowd to boo at him, it has been heard. He was found dead a week after filming at his 100 pounds a week room in Portsmouth, Hants, having overdosed on morphine and due to left ventricular hypertrophy. Days later, the Jeremy Kyle show was permanently axed, and the episode in which Mr. Dymond appeared in has never aired. Before Kyle's evidence, ITV Compliance Director Chris Wisson was today questioned about the review he conducted following Mr. Dymond's death. The hearing was told members of the show's production team had a WhatsApp group to discuss guests in the lead-up to and aftermath of filming episodes. One message from a producer on May 2, 2019 read, "Could you pop and see Mr. Dymond who wants to meet you? Could be emotional. He's had tears in his eyes twice LOLX." The message was said to have been sent around 10:20 a.m., which is understood to be before the episode was filmed. Another text was read from after the filming of the episode, which said, "Just so you know, he's still crying. I think it's still being in this room going around in circles. He just said, 'I wish I was dead. Just a heads up.'" Mr. Wisson told the hearing Mr. Dymond was continuously talking to members of the production team and the aftercare nurses from the time the filming finished at around 12:45 p.m. to when he left the studio at 2:30 p.m. "I believe the researcher says guests would often make comments like that in the heat of the moment soon after the recording," he said, "but they would calm themselves or be calmed, and that wouldn't necessarily be how they felt when they left the studios. By the time Mr. Dymond left the studio, no one felt there was any sense of crisis. Obviously, he was upset about the lie detector test, but the production team understood he was going home and could speak to his partner, and the production team spoke to him the next day to see how he was." The hearing was told the show's assistant producer spoke to Mr. Dymond on the phone the day after filming, when he admitted, "I know I've cocked it up." He said he had felt really low the evening before, but gave his word he would stay positive. On Tuesday, Mr. Dymond's inquest heard there was a potentially lethal amount of morphine in his system, as well as left ventricular hypertrophy when he died on May 9, 2019. The episode he filmed a week earlier, on May 2, is due to be shown at his inquest. Ms. Callaghan told the inquest he was excited to go on the show to prove to her he didn't have an affair and thought he would pass lie detector. He was absolutely desperate to go on the show and made up to 50 calls to producers. It was heard. His first application a month before was unsuccessful, as he had been diagnosed with depression. However, Mr. Dymond was so eager to get on the show and sought a doctor's note saying he had not been taking his antidepressants and was allowed on by ITV. Ms. Callaghan, a fan of the show, said Mr. Dymond and her had been on-off due to lies about his past and that they both wanted closure over whether he cheated so they could move forward with their relationship. While filming, she said Kyle was rude and horrible to Mr. Dymond, saying he wouldn't trust him with a chocolate button, adding that Kyle told her Mr. Dymond was a waste of time.